Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Baltimore. We're here on this show called Got Therapy. This is Dr. Dan Rose from the Counseling Center here at Columbus State University.
And I'm wearing glasses today because I wanted to look smart. You know?
Okay.
But I'm told though
how's he doing?
that as soon as I open my mouth, my IQ drops. You know, it's like my perceived IQ.
Well, there's something to be said about glasses because, you know, in a conversation, you want to make that move. We've all seen it. There's this move where you reach up slowly, grab the edge of your glasses, pull them off to make yourself seem more important.
Important. Also attractive. I'm always looking for that too.
Yes, well, in your case,
speaking of attractive, this was my 14th year anniversary of my wife was on Tuesday.
Yes?
Yes. You know, it's funny. She said it seems like 75, but it was only 14.
I know
so
her.
I think,
she's put up with quite a bit over the years, and those years are probably
14 years. 14 years.
Well, congratulations, man.
We've actually been together 23.
23, so it took a while to get this marriage thing going, evidently. But all right, I understand.
And you know what? This is proof that you can find love through mail order. I mean,
okay, this was mail
order. It can work.
You know, the internet now is going pretty strong with these
they didn't have the
relationships.
back then.
But back then, back in the day, mail order.
It was mail order.
Order brides.
It was, actually, it was funny because I was actually ordering sea monkeys. But there was some confusion, and I didn't get to see. Sea monkeys
is a very interesting topic. We're going to come back to that, I'm sure, at some point. Well, later in the show, sea monkeys will come back up. I've been here before.
Sea monkeys.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a show about mental health, believe it or not. We talk about counseling, mental health issues, psychology, those kind of things. We're talking about relationships. Today, we want to talk a little bit about relaxation. You know,
it's summer. We should think about this is a time when you should exhale, right?
Right.
This should be the time of, you know...
lower the stress.
That's right. But lots of folks, am I wrong? Lots of folks have a hard time with relaxation, letting it go.
I think so. I think a lot of people really do. You carry your stress with you. You hear people using these kinds of phrases, you know, they'll take work home with them.
Take it home with
And you know, by the way, now in our society with all this...
I don't take work to work.
No, yes. Some of us don't work at work.
Yeah,
maybe we should supply ourselves a little more. But I was thinking that they have these phrases like we take work home, but to home, because right now we're all connected. You know, we got the cell phones and the tablets and the computers, and we're available. Never untethered. We seem to be tethered to things. I think that causes a lot of work.
The FBI have really been keeping tracks on me, so I think I'm always connected with.
Yes, well, you and NSA and everyone else right now.
Yeah, I have there's a whole section of the NSA devoted to me.
I just think it's a good question of how we can deal with this stress that we have in our lives. And, you know, technology was supposed to give us more leisure time. That was the promise early on, but look what's happened. We're working harder now than we ever have because of this technology, and we're tweeting and we're doing all of those social... Yes, I was going to mention that social media
you're one of those tweeters.
Notion. Kind of things just happened.
You got one of them hashtags?
Yeah, one of those hashtags.
You got some of them hashtags.
Yeah. Well, see, all of that's happening. But, you know, at first it looks a little innocent, but the more you get involved, pretty soon you're kind of really connected there. And it's bringing you a lot of stress because you have to keep up. You have to keep up with
on the
everything.
Facebooks, I've got to keep up. There's always, like, things, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
But like you said, it's the summer. So let's relax. Now, how do we do that?
Well, I think
what's keeping us from
well, let's think because there's a bit of a paradox in this.
All right.
Because I think, and I often deal with people who come to me for therapy.
Yes.
I assume that's why.
Yeah, you need to check that, but yes.
I think that's it.
Sounds right.
As long as the insurance works. They're often stressed about not relaxing. It's as if they are driven to relax. So there's a bit of paradox in it.
Yes.
So when you say, okay, my goal is to relax, you've already set yourself up for the potential of failure, right?
Right.
Because
self-fulfilling
you
prophecy
literally,
a little bit.
and I think we could say that within our culture, within Western culture, there is, and I think I've seen not so recent stats on this, but the amount of time that the American individual works, the amount of time that we devote to actively being leisure, all that sort of stuff.
Right.
So there's something embedded in our culture itself that we're driven, And so this same drivenness
Very much.
can find its way in relaxing. And I think that a lot of folks who talk about mindfulness, I know we talk about that a lot.
Yes, it's a good term. It seems to be very popular, but it makes sense.
Right. Mindfulness
aware,
in some
be in that
ways
moment.
is a way to think about relaxing that doesn't necessarily, is not a goal-oriented thing, right?
Right.
So it isn't to say, look, man, at 5 o'clock I'm going to be relaxing.
Right. Very hard to do that.
But people do wrong. People do that. They say,
yeah,
this
they
is the
do.
weekend, I'm relaxing.
I'm not sure they achieve very much at that 5 o'clock hour. If they
Well,
say that
usually
either.
it involves like 4 or 5 margaritas. That's really right. That's the.
Well, yeah. Maybe they call it happy hour for a reason.
That's right. Happy hour with a happy. But so what I'm thinking about this is,
Right.
if we're going to talk about relaxing, what I
Sure.
think we should talk about is that, you know, look, it's Friday. It's Friday, right?
Sure it is.
So a lot of folks are going to say, when the weekend comes, I'm going to relax, and their goal is maybe that margarita. The
Right.
ironic thing is that things like alcohol get in the way of mindfulness, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So your goal of being able to enjoy the moment you've been given with any sort of outside chemical assistance can be problematic, right?
Right. So I mean, we're setting ourselves up, saying I'm going to relax, and I'll wait till this point in time, and then I will be less stressed and more relaxed. It doesn't seem to work. We're setting ourselves up. So how do we actually get to that
Here's
state?
here's my thought. Here's what I think
Yes.
we should, for those out there, for the 1.5 person out there listening.
Right.
This is my challenge. You
Good.
should relax right now.
Okay.
So it's not at 5 o'clock. It's not something you are setting on your agenda. You should relax now. And what that means is, and that's the essence of mindfulness, right?
Right.
The idea that it isn't the next moment or the moment an hour from now or a week from now, but it's the breath that you're taking right at this moment. So what one should practice is, how do you receive the event of the breath in the very moment you're in? And how do you? And
nice.
there's this notion, particularly in one of my favorite French philosophers, I mention him all the time, Alain Badiou.
Yes.
He talks about the notion of the event, and the notion that there is the potential to be truly a subject, to be truly alive and connected with yourself, and that inadvertently creates some sort of event.
Right.
So mindfulness gives you the possibility of being present in a moment, being a subject, being real, being, and my challenge is, how do you just do that right now? Even if you're, as you're
Yes.
listening to this, right?
Right. Oh, I think that was a challenge a few minutes ago when you said, you know, relax now. I mean, we do impose a lot of cognitive kind of mediation and seem to kind of spin a lot of our stressors around in our head, things we have to do and where we have to go and what we have to contend with, and it pulls us away from that mindfulness moment, the moment that we're present right now in this moment. All right, so that's a good idea. So we shouldn't plan to be relaxed.
So, and again,
that interferes
I
with
think
this process, right?
The thought is, and what this often requires is the capacity to cultivate a certain level of awareness. Like, I think that for most of us, we are so pulled into the future, we are so driven, goal-directed, that we sort of lose the moment we're given. I think a beautiful example, and this would be my second challenge.
Okay.
Not just now, but I think that one of the ways to really practice mindfulness is when you're driving into work in the morning.
Okay. All right.
Especially if you're a little late.
Uh-oh.
And the person in front of you, there'll inevitably be someone going very slow. I told you this morning, I went and I played me some disc golf.
Yes, you did.
I played some disc golf. The ticks were happy to see me. I mentioned that there's such thing as beard ticks.
Yes.
I think I have about 50 beard ticks.
But it sounds very relaxing, though, to go out and be out of doors and get some exercise, and
it can be.
Yes.
But there's this when you're playing a sport, or you can find yourself.
competition.
well, you can compete against yourself.
Yes.
You can become, there's a saying in disc golf, play from where the disc landed. And what that means is if you throw a disc and it lands where you don't want it to go, it doesn't matter. You don't think about what could have been or where you were. You just think about where you're at. So you play from where the disc landed.
You don't throw your disc into the lake like you see in golf.
Well, I've done that several
throwing
times.
in the lake.
I've done that several
upset
times.
about that shot. So wherever it lands.
So you play where it lands.
Okay.
And that in some way is asking. That is a moment of mindfulness, because you're not playing the place where you wanted to in your head.
Right.
You are not. You are literally. You go to the place where the disc lands, and you think about what the next shot is going to be.
Okay.
But
so in that moment. Right.
I was thinking about this notion of mindfulness. So I'm coming back from the old disc golf thing, you know.
Sure. Okay.
I'm driving, and I've got to get home because my wife has some patients in the morning.
Right.
And I'm a little behind.
All right.
So I get behind this guy who is
the slow
driving to
driver.
the park. He's very slow.
He's very slow. Got it. Been
now
there. We all have.
my wife is going to be late.
If that's you out there, speed it up.
That's
But,
but
yeah, okay.
you know, probably he was going the speed limit. It's just, you know.
No, it was just you bringing it
That's
on
probably me.
because you were in a hurry, right? Okay.
But this guy's going slow. So
Yes.
at that moment,
What can you do?
that is a wonderful time to practice some sort of mindfulness, to play where the disc landed. Because I cannot get around this guy. I am going to be as late or as early as I will when I get there.
Right,
But there is absolutely
right.
nothing in my control. But at that moment, I am, as the Buddhists would say, I am turning pain into suffering. I am generating a state of tension, the opposite of relaxation. I am generating a non-mindful space. I am allowing
Non-mindful space, yes.
the toxins, the poison of tension into that moment. And that's a great moment to practice some form of mindfulness, to exercise the muscles of mindfulness and to be able to think about, And the first place is to be able to center yourself enough to say, I am creating suffering. This is out of my control. And in that moment, you have the capacity to be able to breathe in a way that you weren't breathing before.
Nice. You know, sometimes people need to be reminded to breathe. You hear that, and sometimes you watch the exercise programs we have here on Columbus State television, and people say, "Don't forget to breathe." It's like, wait a minute.
Well, that's
we
what
don't
makes
need
the
to
breath.
be reminded to breathe, but
That's what
I
makes the
understand
breath
that.
so wonderful in terms of, particularly with meditation exercises, because it is something that if you can focus yourself on, it does center, you know. It can also give you, you can hyperventilate if you're not careful.
Oh yeah,
But,
you gotta watch that.
But it generates it. So my second challenge would be
Yes, go.
those folk who find themselves in a stressful situation. If you're standing in line, getting ready to order something, if you are,
Yes.
I don't know if this often happens to you, but you're watching the Netflix
Yes,
and
Watch it.
suddenly the movie stops,
right.
crashes. Your Roku,
buffers or
right? Your
whatever, yes.
Roku. Get one of them Rokus.
I got the Roku, yes, and we're on a channel, by the way,
I'm sorry, yeah, that's Roku,
CSU.TV.
yeah.
Get the Roku, get
So
the channel.
it's- and
Get us-
this-
tune us in.
The-
But yeah, but the buffering.
We're relaxing. Relaxation, yeah. The
Right. Well, so that notion in the movie stops. What happens at that moment? How do we gain this mindfulness? What do we need to do? It's an opportunity.
We can even go deeper with this. What if you've come home
Yes.
from work, your spouse comes to greet you,
Yes.
and your spouse is trying to tell you about something that happened during their day.
Right.
And in your mind, you're saying, you know what, I want to get my shoes off. I just want to sit down for a second.
Right. Yes.
I have, and you once again, you've entered a non-mindful state. So what does someone do? If you can catch yourself, you have the capacity to breathe and to be present and to allow yourself to drop into an intimate, intersubjective space that you otherwise wouldn't be able to do if you don't first allow yourself to realize the space you're in, allow yourself to breathe, and boom, you're there.
Yeah.
And-
that awareness is so important.
And you
to be
can
able to
practice
manage it.
these things. The more you practice them, the better you get.
Kind of like it. So you could adapt to any situation, and we're always going to have stressful situations out there because we're dealing with other people, and we don't always get our needs met, and we have to work, and we have to do a lot of things there.
What often happens, or like, I don't know if you realize this, but when I get really relaxed, and I'm really relaxed now, I pee myself.
Here we go. I knew that was coming. I mean, our viewers by now know, they see it, they hear it, and they go, okay, wait for it,
No,
and then there it hits it. So, all right, our viewers know you very well. I know
Really,
what happens on this show.
Do you know?
And so,
does anybody
we're ready
out
for
there
this.
have a pool table? I'm trying to buy.
Okay, now this is not the home shopping network.
No, but I want a pool table because
Yes,
I
I know.
think that would be kind of relaxing. A pool table. Snooker.
so.
That's a form of that's a pool game.
It
Snooker.
is definitely, and a difficult game, I think, to master. that
Or a
kind of
reality
things,
TV
because
star from New Jersey. Isn't that snooker? No.
I'll let our audience decide for themselves about Snooki from New
That was
Jersey. By the way, I think Daniel's going to New Jersey. Say hey to Snooki for us up there.
He's from there, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's going to NJ next week, I think.
What's what you doing in New Jersey?
His family's from there, so there you
Really?
go. Yeah, he's going back. I asked him if he was going to stand on the street corner and sing, four-part harmony like we expect up there.
Really, that they do that in New Jersey?
Or say hello to the Sopranos. But please, let's don't go down this road too much.
Yeah,
further.
I like New Jersey. It's nice smells.
No, you can be mindful in New Jersey, is what I'm
That's
thinking.
a good place to practice.
That may be a good place
because
to
I
practice.
understand, there's a lot of there's a lot of. I know about New Jersey from The Sopranos.
Right, that's where we
and
are.
from Bruce Springsteen songs.
Yes, that's
So
about.
that's really all I know about.
Yeah, you got a limited. Probably.
Actually,
we need
I
to know
went
more.
to school
Beautiful
with a
state.
guy from New Jersey
Beautiful
named Lou
state.
Laporta, who's also a psychologist.
Yes.
Lou is out there, so he might even hear this. Lou
Yeah.
Laporta was from New Jersey. He had an
What's up, Lou?
IROC Z.
All right.
Lou did.
Oh, he did.
He had an IROC Z. Lou
Well,
did.
there you go.
I remember he used to drive. It was an automatic, but he would put it in a lower gear
Yes.
just so he could get more power.
Well,
remember that's what Lou would do.
That's what he does. As he goes right by the bada bing. Okay, I understand.
He was,
all right. So mindfulness is one way for us to kind of capture that moment, be aware of our breathing, gives us an opportunity to move into a state of relaxation. Okay, very Zen-like. He said Buddhist.
State of New Jersey, state of relaxation.
I think so.
And
That's
what?
word parables.
I think I can't stress enough how this is something one practices.
Yes.
It literally is. The more one practices the capacity for mindfulness, the more that capacity grows, and it allows you to. Well, if you're a therapist,
Yes.
it is very important to be able to practice that, to be in a space with another person. If you're not a therapist, it still allows you to have the same sort of thing. It allows you to be in a space with yourself, with someone else. It beard ticks.
It's interesting. So, if people have a pool table, how do they contact you? Never mind. All right,
They
so
have-
we won't go there today.
But I want to. It's got to be. I can't spend too much. I want a nice pool table, used, but I'm looking.
Okay, this is.
$25.
Yes.
What can I get for
It's
25 bucks?
It's not going to happen.
What do you think?
It's not going to happen. But, ladies and gentlemen,
A pool table made of cheese.
you know you can hear anything right here
Hey.
on Got Therapy. By the way, as we start our new television season here at Columbus State University, starting July 1, going through August, you can watch Got Therapy at 10 p.m. Monday through Friday. And in the mornings as well, but that 10 p.m. time is prime
Used to be
time
6.
for the yes.
What happened to my 6 o'clock?
We moved you to a bigger audience space because
Really?
people were demanding.
People are around.
People were
No,
demanding.
nobody's around
it, so
at 10.
We don't know. We're all asleep. We're being mindful. But if you're watching every weeknight on channel 99, 98,
It should be on the
Media
YouTubes.
Time. It is on the YouTubes, and it's also on.
It is on the YouTubes.
Yes, it is.
Really?
And iTunes, my friend. So your
It's on
word
the
is going
YouTubes.
out there.
Really? There's a YouTubes?
There is a YouTube.
I should post that on my Facebook.
Or a FaceTube or something to that
Yeah.
effect. We're trying to get
I'm gonna
out
put
there
that on my
social media.
Facebooks.
Yeah, we need to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Got Therapy. Dr. Dan Rose, Executive Director of the Counseling Center here at Columbus State University. I'm Michael Baltimore, Columbus State Television. Tune in each week for Got Therapy and hear about what happens in Dan Rose's world and learn a little bit about psychology and mental health
The
as well.
appellation with an education.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time right here on Columbus State Television. Have a good day. We'll see you later.